QPZ here, or Alex, and this is the first video in an installment of scouting videos I'm going to be doing on younger players in the CSGO scene. So, to explain my decision making on the players I'm going to evaluate, it's basically based on age. So I'm looking at younger players, people who haven't been playing a long time, which also their experience factors into. So players who started in Open and then immediately within a couple seasons are already playing in main or advanced and have good stats in those leagues. So to explain my rating system, I'm assigning -3 to 3 points based on the following. Mechanical is 25% of the formula here. So that's based on your aim, movement, and peaking. 50% of the score is based on your IQ-based traits, so that's decision making, positioning, utility usage, and performance in the clutch. And then another 25% is based on your consistency, which is important for getting team results. What I'm doing is I'm picking 2 quote-unquote good games based on team result and individual performance, and 2 quote-unquote bad games, which will mostly be individually based. And the total score can be from -9 to 9. So the higher score, the better the player, based on my evaluation. The first player I decided to evaluate was Nicholas G, also known as Oken, a player on ESCA who plays for Uproar, a CSGO main team that won 11-5 in the regular season and 3-2 in the postseason of Season 34 ESCA. In Season 34, Oken posted 379 frags along with 307 deaths, an ADR of 87.45 and 0.84 frags per round. When his team won the game, he had on average 25 kills and 19 deaths, and when a team lost the game, he had 21 kills and 21 deaths. So pretty consistent there across the board. His weapon stats, for the AK-47, he had 281 frags along with 206 deaths. The AWP, 86 frags and 68 deaths, and the M4A4, 77 frags and 100 deaths. So as you can see here, he's versatile. He can get kills with the AK, he can get kills with the AWP, and get kills with the M4. After evaluating Oken's demos, there's 3 really big important points I want to hit on. The first one, Oken's game IQ, is very high. He's a really smart player, and he always seems to know what's going on. That falls into our second point, decision making. Oken makes really good decisions, whether it be making a certain peak, not making a certain peak, or simply just making sounds to sound cue the enemy team. He's always making really good decisions, and in turn he's putting himself in good positions to get frags and clutch out rounds. The third point I want to hit on is his aim. His aim isn't world breaking. He misses shots, he misses sprays, and sometimes it costs the round, but it's not bad. It's pretty standard for the level that he's at, and his game IQ and decision making is, I would say, much higher than the average player. I started this evaluation by watching an early regular season matchup that Oken participated in, where he didn't have a great game. He made bad decisions, missed some shots. Overall, it just wasn't a great match for him. Later in the evaluations, there was a play on an overpass that really reminded me of a play earlier in Inferno that went differently because he made a bad decision on Inferno, but on overpass, he made the right decision. In this upcoming clip, you're going to see Oken in a 1v2 where his teammate's pushing down the player who's trying to defend the bomb. And instead of making a decision to either defuse or push with his teammate, he kind of just sits there until it's too late and has to push him and the round's over. Second clip is on overpass, where you can see his teammate dies and immediately Oken pushes him, kills him, and has time to defuse. Just wanted to point out this is a good, example of growth over the season, and some good decision making at the end of the season when it really mattered in the postseason for Oken. The next 4 clips show Oaken making good decisions in different positions, which give his team a way better chance at winning the respective rounds. In the first clip, we can see him getting a kill and then falling without re-peeking, and which doesn't allow the T's to trade him. In the second clip, we see him getting a kill on sight and then holding an angle instead of pushing the angle when he hears a sound down at bank stairs. On the third clip, you can see Oaken on sight while the T's push him down. He actually does peek and gets an equalizing kill to bring the round back to a 3v3 and then falls back. And then in the fourth clip, you can see him just hearing a slight sound and immediately spamming it for a good kill, an entry kill on the round. One of the negative aspects of Oaken's game is actually his aim. It's not bad, it's just a little bit below average. He misses some easy shots with the op, which he actually mains on CT side, and he misses some sprays here and there, and his crosshair isn't always placed in the right area, as you'll see with a couple of these upcoming clips. I think Oaken's an amazing player, and I think he has a lot that he can still show as he continues to work on his aim. He already has a ridiculously good game sense, and he makes really great decisions. Before I reveal my final scores on Oaken's evaluation, I just wanted to throw in some of these clips that I thought really showcased his skill. Going over Oaken's ratings, we're going to start with the mechanical portion, which is 25% of the overall score. For aim, I gave him a -1 because he lost more aim duels than he did win. And overall, he just missed a couple easy shots here and there that you'd like to see cleaned up. Give him a 0 for movement. There was really nothing special here. Doesn't seem like a KZ player, but didn't make any mistakes with his movement that cost anybody the round or cost him his life. I gave him a 1 for peeking because his decisions really impact his peeking ability as he takes some really smart peeks here and there. Going into his IQ-based portion, I gave him a 2 for decision making. He makes really smart plays consistently round in and round out. In turn, this gives him a 1 in positioning because he's always putting himself in a good position to get a frag or a refrag. and 1 for utility usage. He knows a lot of grenades. He knows when to use his flashes. Overall, he's just a really smart player with his utility. And then performance in the clutch, I gave him a +1. He wasn't insane or by any means. He didn't clutch a ton of rounds, but when he was in a situation that he needed to win, he did what he needed to do and he made the right decisions. And then final category, performance consistency, I actually gave him a +2. Extremely consistent player. It was very hard for me to even find a game where he had less than 20 kills. Overall, I gave him a +5.5 after doing the calculations, which is a really great score, and I'm looking forward to see where he goes in the future. I think Oaken has a ton of potential. I think his aim needs a little bit of work, mainly his crosshair placement, but he makes really great decisions. He frags out against some of the best main teams in ESCA, and I can see him making some big moves in the future.